Ladies and gentlemen, keyboard warriors of all ages, welcome to Bladecast TV and their coverage of the Warband Winter Cup 2019 for the grand finals between Dopey and Frontline Tactics. Joining me is the well-known Deacon who's already streamed about 15 matches in the last several days. So, dude, please take it away. What's going to happen today, man?
Hi there, you alright, mate? How's it going?
It's all right, bro. How are things? Tell us about the current match that's going to take place today, because the freaking semi-finals just absolutely, I think, almost killed everyone with how long it went on for and just the insane amount of rounds that happened. So tell us like now what's going to happen between these two incredible.
We got FT, multiple tournament champions, probably like the dominant force since kind of A stopped playing. There for me, they're the favourites. They were the favourites going into the tournament, and they get up against Dopey, which is kind of amalgamation of just loads of quality players. So they've got like Anchor, obviously, Brian for a few friends. They got that Anchor Matt kind of duo, and then they've got Raiden in there, Tomias in there. So it's just loads of really, really strong players who have like been at the top of the scene for a long time, going up against FT, who need no introduction really. Probably most dominant players. You're looking at Peter and Scott. They've been absolutely tearing it, absolutely killing it completely. If you watch the semi-final, Scar was just murdering people.
Oh my word! It was pretty insane, actually. Like just some of the plays that was happening, it was quite laughable at some stages. You were just thinking, how are these players even doing that? But like you said, the semi-finals were quite literally insane.
Yeah, the first match.
I don't think I've seen semi-finals. What do you see happening today, Deacon? Because I know I haven't particularly followed the tournament that well. To obviously, unfortunately, for my own benefit. But you've pretty much been there since day one. How do you see this unfolding today with the three maps as well? We'll get into that a little bit later. But how do you see it?
I mean, I said from the start of the tournament, I thought FT were my favourites. I think they're just the most solid team. They're like Charlini. He plays it pretty simple. They push in. They've got the players to be able to push in. They've got the archers to back it up, and they've got unbelievable cav. So I think they'll win. There's definitely a chance of an upset, but I would say it was that will rely on Raiden and Matt doing work, because the FT archers are really good. Don't get me wrong. I think Raiden and Matt are probably in a bit better form at the moment. So if those two guys can do some serious work, then Dopey can cause an upset. If not, I see FT just taking this 2-0, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's as better as prediction as we're going to get from anyone. We do have just about a minute before the game kicks off, and we will get into the tournament format and, sort of how this tournament's gone down and your views on it and how you think the community's responded. But just to give a quick summary of what's going to happen today for viewers watching who haven't maybe seen a game like this before, it is a very different format than previous Warband tournaments. This normally is an 8v8, or in some cases there's been 5v5s, but this tournament has taken on the format of a 6v6. How do you view that, Deacon? Do you think it was like a change that was necessary, or do you think it was just trying to spice things up a little bit?
I have a feeling it was like there was some like future plans they had in mind. I think there's been a lot of people looking into lower the numbers for kind of like for esports reasons, right? Because that's what esports do. So we try and copy. I think it's been relatively successful. I think most people agree it's better than 5v. It's a little teams are a bit less kind of. Felt a lot with 5v5. You had to just do 2 or 3 imp, 1 archer and 2 cav, right? Whereas on this, you've seen a lot of 2 archer strats work. You've seen a lot of more mixed up strats. So it has been better, I think. Personally, I prefer 8v8 still, but it's been pretty good. I think the round timers are too short, and I also think there's too many rounds can get played. It was ridiculous in that last match, wasn't it? I mean, it was. It's been good though. I think it's definitely better than 5v5, and there's been some interesting stuff in how they've done. But overall, yeah, it's been pretty good.
Yeah, there you go, folks. You've heard it from Deacon himself. The game's about to kick off, so we're going to have the first map intro for River. Okay, I lied. I'm keeping everyone on their toes. We're not going to have a map intro, mainly because the game's actually kicking off straight away, earlier than we expected. So we're going to see Dopey take Vegas, and we're going to see FT take Rodox. Interesting because obviously this is a very open map. Traditionally, we have quite a lot of carve and that, so it's going to be interesting. What do you think about these little setups now, Deacon? What do you think the tactics behind these decisions are?
I think it kind of makes sense for FT. From FT's side, they've taken the 2 imp and the arch. They're going to try and block up the imp. Those imps just need to stay together, stay alive on flag. Hopefully, Menafil can pick up a few kills. I've got to admit, this almost should be a write-off for Rodox. I can't see how they win this set, to be honest.
Yeah, I think I'm inclined to agree with you there, as the map has seen the first flag spawn now. Charlene and Gibby kind of rushing forward a little bit. They're going to try and put some pressure on Anku, who's been caught out alone. Alex almost gets couched by Brian there, but he does manage to escape. So a little skirmish is going to take place now towards the vineyard, traditionally where this other flag spawned. Matt is kind of hovering around the stable there. I think he's trying to get some pop shots towards Menethil, who's going to slowly make his way over towards that flag. But Charlene and Gibby just keeping their shields up now. They're going to retreat as the Cav of Dopey now come charge forward. They're going to try and, I think, engage their infantry pretty soon. Yeah, the fight is breaking out now as Gibby takes on Anka and he gets a big kill on Ast, completely dismounting him and killing him from his horse now. A big kill early on. Charlene manages to rear up Dopey, but he manages to get away cleanly. Peter's been caught out, but he's going to jump away, as well as Doom. Brian does try and pursue, but nothing.
They're going to win on flag, aren't they?
They are going to try and win on flag, aren't they? 30 seconds left. It's going to be tight towards this flag now. Brian's been dismounted. And Raiden actually does take down Sir Alex as he was making his way over the bridge, but Raiden's now been engaged by Charlene. Brian is going to try and take down Gibby with the help of Anchor, but it's not enough. Menethil does take down Dopey, though, but it might be a little bit too late. I don't know if Anchor can survive on this flag with 9 seconds left. Gibby gets a double kill though, but Matt comes back with a kill on Peter. It's still Matt is on Anchor but Matt gets a double kill as well. And it's a draw for the first round. Matt with a triple kill. Oh my word, first round. What an absolute opener. Anchor has managed to stay alive and he keeps the draw. Are we going to see, as Fietta coined in the semi-final, are we going to see Infinite Warband? It's looking like it's going to be an intense final. Break down what happened there, Deacon.
Wasn't it? I mean, fair play, mate. You must need oxygen tank. Wow. I mean, I thought it was a really smart move by FT. They kind of forced the Vega archers out of position. You saw Raiden had to go all the way back up to that hill, which is why they arrived so late to the fight. And you saw the damage they could do at the end of the fight, but they just didn't have enough influence earlier on in the fight because of that push by FT to make the difference. It was a good push. I don't think it'll work again. They kind of baited out the retreat, and then they lost a few too many people in the early fight. But they did really well to secure that round, secure a draw actually, and they'll be hoping for a better round this time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was interesting to see actually the two fights happen. You know, like at separate parts of the round. They engaged early on, but they didn't really get much done, and then it all just cracked off on the fly. That was pretty insane. If that's a reflection about how the rest of the game's going to go, I'm pretty.
Oh, look where Matt is. That's really dangerous. Like, he's going to be hard to shut down. They need to think have to beat him here because otherwise he's going to shut down all those Rodok Cav trying to come in, and they get a few headshots and it'll be game over.
Doom's hanging around by the windmill, but I don't know what he's trying to do. As Cav now come round and they're going to engage on the flag. As Anchor tries to push forward towards Gibby. Oh, but Gibby takes Anchor down with a quick kill from his help with his cab. Raiden does manage to take down Sir Alex, though. But in the meantime, Menethil's taking down Raiden, his Turkish brother-in-arms. But Matt still, like you said, he's up and he's just causing havoc towards this Rodok Cav. Peter's going to dismount on him, but I don't know if that's maybe a futile attempt as Charlene actually comes over to try and help him. But FT managed to win on the flag as they put that pressure on early doors, and the rest of the kills meaningless at this point.
Yeah, it was hard that you kind of saw Anchor so lonely against those two imp, right? And the archers were doing a bit of damage, but they didn't land quite enough shots, and Anchor just outnumbered and outgunned on the flag. Survives pretty long, but he just doesn't survive long enough for the archers to get the kills.
Yeah, you're right. What could Dopey have done a little bit differently to try and maybe secure that flag?
I think Anchor needed to push in a little bit later. He kind of went ham, which is all good, and they were getting archer shots off, but he needed to wait a bit, right? Raiden wasn't in a position he could shoot there. You need to kind of bait out the enemy cav attack, so when the enemy cav are coming around Anchor's back, that's when Raiden can start getting kills, but they kind of they jumped the gun a little bit, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And now the flag's going to spawn again in the village. We're going to see a little bit of a different approach now. Dopey are going to come round the same side they did before, but FT have prepared this time. You know, they don't want to risk that draw again. Anchor's charging head on with Raiden following suit behind him. Menethil was around that corner, but now he's going to push back into this little corner of the village. No, he's going to stay there. He tries to get a pop shot of Raiden, but Raiden knows his tricks a little bit too easily. What did Dopey need to do now to
they need to go in because the flag pressure is pretty big now, and it makes it really difficult because the Vega archers need Anchor to go in. They need him to stay alive for a little bit, and then they need the cav to get kills because the archers aren't going to have time.
And speaking of cav, they're going to try and now take down Menethil. Cav just coming in all over the place, but in the meantime, Gibby gets a team kill on Charlini. Not what you want to see from a 6v6 as well. And Doom, in the meantime, takes down Brian. Menethil and Raiden duking out over here. But Ast is going to take down Doom as Anchor and Gibby fight it out just between themselves to control this flag. Ast manages to get a stab on Sir Alex, but comes around and rears him up. In the meantime, Raiden has taken down Menethil, but then he's taken down himself by Sir Alex, who's roaming around like just a tank at the moment. He's going to now engage Matt, who gets a stab on him. Meanwhile, Ast actually takes down Gibby, gets a double kill on Sir Alex, so great double kill and play from him. Peter's still alive, but he's been dismounted, and triple kill for Ast. Great play by Ast there. Really well done to take the round for his team at the end.
He literally won the round for them there. It was looking like they were in serious trouble. And he didn't have a great semi-final, I'm not going to lie. He picked up a little bit later on, but that was incredible stuff from him now.
Wow, that early team kill as well. That couldn't have helped. I'm just wondering now what Dopey are going to try and do, because they know what works, and they know that they were fortunate with Anchor doing really well in that first round to claim that draw, but they're gonna have to change something up a little bit because it is very back and forth. But I just feel like they're being edged out here.
Been unlucky with flags, and it's happened again. I mean, they haven't got that open flag that you really want as the Vegas, the one they're at now, and they keep having to push into these areas. They had to push in again then. It worked out for them. But they need to be slower on this flag. But it's hard, and they've not had the flags they wanted, and that does make it more difficult.
Yeah, now Dopey are going to push forward. Matt again taking up refuge by that big tree on the far side. He's going to cause havoc for the road at Cav again, like you said before. Charlene and Gibby just being a little bit passive, cautious of Anchor. They don't really want to, commit too early on, because then the Cav are just going to come round. They're waiting.
The archer as well. They just know Matt can hit a shot. It doesn't matter what the angle is. He can hit the shot, so they don't want to open up. Here comes the
Doom tries to get something done, but misses completely. So Alex, in the meantime, comes and maybe tries to help. He's been shot himself by one of the Dopey Cav. He manages to bump Raiden down, but nothing happened. FT now pushing out, actually. They're taking this fight away from the flag, which is really interesting. Behind takes down Sir Alex. But Charlini fighting Anchor, but he gets killed by Anchor, actually. Menethil's still on the top there. I think he's going to push his infantry. Yeah, he's going to help Gibby there. And he actually gets bumped by Cav, and Anchor's taken down, but Menethil gets taken down himself by Brian. Matt has, in the meantime, taken down Doom. They're going to push now, which is great play. Raiden's just taking up infantry now. He's not going to be shooting. Matt, as you said, has caused damage again by just shooting into that fight, doing what Matt does best. Brian takes down Peter at the end. Wow, really, really close rounds, really intense.
Yeah, it was hard there. They had the right idea, FT. They kind of wanted to push out. Maybe they could have just waited, but it's always going to be hard when your Cav's getting shot by Matt. Matt was the deciding influence there, and FT are really going to... How can they shut down the archers? And they probably need to start sticking a Cav on one of them. Just sack a Cav off. Say, you're sitting on him. Let the rest of the fight happen, because at the moment it's just not working. And I know they shut down Raiden last time, but they need to shut down the guy who's having more influence, and that was Matt in that round. And Matt was in the best position, and he made it work.
it is a really weird position, that, because you send Cav there and then the enemy team's Cav comes and just completely takes you down. It's a very tricky and sticky position, that. So Matt utilising the map really well, and he just uses skill to great effect and just pops off infantry really easily. Now the flag's going to spawn yet again in the village. We're going to see Dopey on the back foot once again, but it doesn't seem to be hindering them, as Anchor once more leads the charge with Raiden Matt in suit behind. I don't know if we're going to see maybe a different approach, or if FT are just going to try and...
Looks like FT might push, maybe.
Yeah, Gibby is being quite aggressive, but passively. So passive aggressive by Gibby. Actually, no, he's...
Look at Charlie go. He's going to shut down Matt. It's probably the right idea.
Yeah, it's all happening now towards the other side of the village now. Anchor is taking on Gibby as Cav comes to try and help him. Asta's being pushed now by the two FT Cav with his warhorse. Actually, does manage to take down one Cav, but Anchor in the meantime gets taken down by Gibby. Two important fights happening now as Raiden takes on Menethil again, manages to dispatch him. Brian in the meantime has taken down Doom once again. Dopey just pulling out the bag here with their performance. Brian has taken down Alex. Charlini on a different part has actually taken down Matt, and Peter as well has taken down Brian. So back and forth here as contention for the flag heats up. Raiden's just shooting now, point blank range, and he actually takes down Ast, and he gets taken down by Gibby. Oh my word, that was absolutely abysmal play. They just buckled under pressure at the last moment. Oh, 2-2. Wow.
Well, that was a throw, wasn't it?
Wow, that surprises me greatly. Raiden has been in these situations. He's been in finals more times than I think I've played matches, and he just bottled that. That was not what you wanted from your star player.
No, and you got to think this is their map, and they need to win it. And on paper, at least, Vegas have a huge advantage. So it's going to be hard now. You got to think it's going to be very hard for Dopey to bring this back. We'll see, though. I mean, Charlini and FT were making it work as Rodox. They kind of played around flags, and it worked for them. But is that going to work again? And I think that's made it very hard for them to win this map.
Yeah, I agree. I think that should have been the set that they want to be taking home comfortably. Like you said, it's their map, and you know, it just didn't go the way that they wanted it to. With obviously individual play, I think matters more in this format with the 6v6, as like we were saying before, 8v8. You've got a little bit of room to work with in terms of one player maybe not being as strong as the rest. But in this, you just get picked apart by the other team. Infantry is just honing in on everything that they can see. Cav is just roaming around like tanks, and archers are just picking apart people. So really, really high level play here that we're seeing.
Yeah, and you're seeing the influence as well of inf pressure. So when you've got someone like Gibby who is really, really strong at 1v1s, right? And in 8v8, it matters a bit less because you're less likely to get split off into those kind of 1v1s. But in this format, it seems to happen a lot, and people who were getting left with him were not lasting long, and he was killing them very quickly.
Yeah, and it's funny to see that because, you know, these guys, he makes it seem easy, but these guys are all really, really good players. So for him to just make it seem like, you know, I'm just fighting any old player, it's exciting to see, and it's quite it's just interesting. All the really hard. Did you do things now? Did go to the plan? In case what is difficulties solved. So we're going to try and get that.
Is everybody else's audio buggered? Is it just a bit?
I changed the server location. I'm not sure if this is going to help.
I believe we're back.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
All right, we apologise for that, guys. Yeah, as the chat has pointed out, everyone knew that I was a robot. People have found me out. But in the meantime, whilst we're discussing that, the second set is about to kick off. We see the factions switch around now. Again, for viewers that might not be used to watching competitive Warband, normally we have a system of 2 maps, but for this tournament, we're having 3 maps. This map is River Village, the second map is Sandy Bush, and the third map is Frosthaven, with Nords versus Swadia and Saranids versus Rhodoks, respectively. What do you think is going to happen for these? Not just this map, but the next 2 maps, Deacon. How do you see them planning out?
So I think FT should wrap this up. They'll play 2 archers, Kane and Menafit, and I think it'll be very hard to deal with. I imagine Rhodoks might take the extra crossbow, or they might just hope the Imp and the Cav can do it. Either way, I can't see them getting enough round. Then we're on to Sandy Bush, where I imagine those FT Imp are gonna cause some serious havoc.
Yeah, definitely. How do you think the Cav? How pivotal do you think they're going to be?
It's really hard to tell. I think the problem is with Vega is it makes Cav so much harder to play when you've got Vega archers who aren't getting pushed. The Cav really struggle to get work done. On the other hand, you saw what Kawhi, isn't it? What he did for his Ast at the moment. So the Cav is massively influential, but I think you'll see more individual Cav plays on a map like Sandy Bush than you will here, where it's a lot more spread out and you've got the Vega archers just pounding down on people.
Yeah, definitely. And whilst we've got this little lull in play, as always, we want to just dish out what the tournament prizes are, actually, because interestingly enough, recent tournaments now have quite hefty prizes. So Tailworlds have actually offered 10 Bannerlord keys to the winner, and I think it's also, if I read correctly, that it was also to second place as well, and maybe even third place. So if chat want to, as I know they like to correct us on any mistakes we make, if they want to correct us on that, but I'm pretty sure that first place definitely do get that. As now we can move on. Actually, the teams are saying that they're ready. Actually, no. FT say they need 1 more minute. Not like they've had to wait around long enough, especially with the semi-finals. This is a big map now. This set is going to be quite telling about how the rest of the match is going to go.
Definitely, I think you need a good result for Dopey. Even if they don't win, they need to get a round or 2. If they don't, they're going to go into the next map heads down. They're going to be thinking, we're on their map, we're probably in trouble. If they can get a few rounds, if they can make it close, then it'll be completely different. But I think it's going to be hard, and it's going to depend a lot on what Anchor can do to stay alive. And he was doing it very, very well last set. He kind of stayed alive for a long, long time against multiple Imp. So, I mean, that was brilliant, and he's going to need to do that even better because he's going to have Vega archers pounding him at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. This we now see the teams take to the field. We see Frontline Tactics take 2 archers with 3 cav and 1 infantry, which isn't actually very surprising because Scar has shown already in the last 4 hours that he can dominate against 3 infantry, so really not a problem for him. On the other side, we see Dopey take 3 cav, 2 infantry and 1 archer. Understandable, as Rhodoks don't have stronger rangers as Vega is. They're just going to take the 1 crossbow with Raiden. And the flag yet again spawning in village. We haven't seen much variation in the flag spawning. We hope that's just a matter of luck and there's no rituals or flag gods that these teams have to rely on.
There's always a dark ritual going on for the flags. Everyone running to one end of the map like they used to all those years.
That is some old warband coming to the surface there. The flag pressure again is going to be put on, but now it's in Dopey's hands as they finally have the flag spawn in their favour. Kane and Menethil just raining down like Gatling guns at the moment with their high fire rate, as opposed to Raiden, who's just got to hold his shield up. Doom comes around the corner and tries to get a couch, but just gets his shield. Raiden gets bumped down, but he's going to get warded off by Dopey. Peter, in the meantime, is coming around the back with his signature White Horse, but he almost manages to take down Raiden, but just has to put up his shield at the last minute. In the meantime, Anchor actually takes down Sir Alex, and Scar is taken down as well on the flag, which is very surprising. Taking down our Rin there. Anchor and Dopey pushing forwards towards Kane and Peter. They're kind of just fighting for the control of this bridge now, as Raiden actually, again, takes down Menethil. I think that's maybe 3-0 Raiden Menethil for personal 1v1s. Kane with Peter and Doom retreating over the bridge now. I don't know if they're going to try and just save their lives yet, as Dopey take the flag convincingly with a whitewash. No deaths on Dopey's side.
Yeah, it was quite interesting. We saw it again, didn't we? That lonely Vega imp getting isolated, and Scar, you can be as good as you want, but like when you've got Cavs stabbing you in the back, you've got an imp in front of you, you've got an imp behind you, you just can't survive, can you? And it's cost both teams rounds now, having that lonely imp pushing in, and the archers just weren't quite able to do enough damage, which is just very similar story to what we saw when Vegas lost rounds in the last set.
Yeah, completely. So now that we've seen what works and what doesn't, now both teams have a little bit of breathing time as they wait for the next flag, and finally we see the flag spawn towards the vineyard now. Teams preparing adequately as they pushed up towards that windmill in terms of on Dopey's side. They're actually going to push straight across towards the vineyard house. They're going to try and take this fence where Menethil has actually pitched up camp towards the other side by the rock. He's going to be protected by Doom and Sir Alex is Cav, and Peter's there as well actually, didn't notice him. White flash, quite invincible. Scar's just going to remain isolated but not scared by himself on the flag as he tries to put a little bit of pressure.
It was a nice move by Dopey to push up quite quickly and take that house area. But on the other hand, FT also doing the right thing, backing Menethil off, not taking any risks. And now it's going to be really hard to win this flag because those archers are just going to rain arrows down.
Yeah, that is a sickening crossfire. Not the best that could be used, but it is very deadly as Kane and Menethil now managing to rain some shots down, and Scar actually takes down Anchor, so he's doing his job really well. It's just him and Rin now, but he's going to be surrounded by by Carp, should I say, on the flag. Peter has been dismounted and he's now going to try and fight Rin, but Ast actually bumps him and Rin takes down Peter. So it's just Scar still left by himself. He actually does manage to rear up Brian, but he manages to escape. In the meantime, Raiden gets a double kill. And Menethil also takes down Ask with a melee kill. I'm not sure if he kicked him or punched him. I imagine he kicked him. Kane has just got his lance out, but he's doing all right. Actually, his Rin gets a team kill on Brian. So, I mean, Kane doing a decent job there. Menethil now has taken to melee form. He's going to try and help Scar out, but Dopey still keep the flag, and Rind actually does take down Scar and gets a double kill on Menethil, so well done to him. Really good play from him, as Dopey now make it to 2-0.
And with that, they've already at least drawn the map, haven't they?
I believe so, yeah. I think, looking at the score, I think that makes the map, yeah, at least a draw, so they can still win this now, obviously. But the favour is towards Dopey now, as they've just seemed to rely on their last few key players surviving, but really that's what it comes down to.
It's Raiden, wasn't it? How good was Raiden in that round? He's having such a good night tonight. He was so in the semi-final, and you just saw him picking up important kills, absolutely vital kills in the middle of fights. He's always there, he's always getting kills, and it's too much for them to cope with at the moment. The fight got very, very messy, and Raiden survived, Rin survived, I think that's Happy Manor, and they both did great work, and those two kills at the end just icing on the cake for the infantry.
Yeah, completely. And comments actually coming in now from the stream that they like to see some good competition finally come to FT, which is completely true, as FT have been dominant over recent tournaments. Peter now going to maybe try and get something cheeky done there, but
the white flash. He's always trying something cheeky. He's an absolute master.
The flag actually is being contested now as FT's infantry push in towards Rind and Anchor. Bumps coming in left, right and centre. Dopey gets a bump in, actually kills Scar, but Doom and Peter get 2 back with Brian and Raiden. Raiden taken down, that's a big kill for FT. Dopey also actually takes down.
They've got the imp from the flag, it's huge.
Oh, the flag is so close, and there's only 45 seconds left, and a lot of players still alive. 4v4, 3 cav for FT though. Whilst only 2 cav and 2 infantry for Dopey. I think this might go towards Dopey, but Menethil has taken out his scimitar and he's going to fight Rin, but Anchor actually gets a double kill. Really big play from him. He takes down key players, triple kill for Anchor. Huge play from Anchor there. And Dopey of the clan Castellan takes down Sir Alex. And wow, Dopey winning convincingly there in that round.
Brilliant round from Anchor. It was all about Anchor. That absolutely superb. Stayed alive on got the kills he had to do. It was close. It was really close. But when those open map rounds come down towards the end and there's not much archer pressure, the imp on the flag, that's what you need. And they won because of that. And Anchor making it work, making it happen. Quality stuff from Dopey there, and they've won the map. Yeah,
huge set from them. Convincingly as well. Not close in that last round. FT gonna have to. I don't know, and maybe they've not been. I don't think they've been to this place before in terms of being so under pressure to actually take rounds. I don't know. Are they going to be able to cope with this sort of pressure? Because I don't really feel that like they've been used to that.
I mean, they have been around a while at this point, to be honest. It's a lot of Warband to play. I'll say that, and that would be
absolutely.
I know I'd be so fatigued by now. I'd be fed up. I wouldn't want to be playing. I would have gone to bed saying I was hungover or I wanted to work. Like it's a lot of Warband to play, and it's hard, isn't it? And it's hard to reset after a loss like that.
Yeah. This is very true. In case any viewers didn't tune in to the semi-finals. I think it probably might be a record amount of rounds that were played. Just an insane amount. Like you were saying, many players fatigued by now, reactions slowing down, maybe communications suffering a little bit. Everyone's just tired. They just want to finish the final, to be honest. And this might cause some controversy in the comments. Keyboard Warriors will come out of hibernation to have their complaint about how the finals and the semi-finals shouldn't have been on the same day, but we're not going to get political. We're just here to cast the game.
Yeah, I think it's quite. I mean, whatever you think about it, this is the situation they're in, and everyone's agreed to do it, so they're going to have to do it. And who I feel sorry for probably most is the people from Eastern Europe, the people from Turkey, because it's probably getting on midnight now for some of them. So then you've not only got warband fatigue, you've got literal fatigue of being tired. Right?
Yeah, this is the real scene of esports where players' actual abilities to play comes into question now. Do you reckon maybe the Red Bull cans are coming out? Maybe some drug use? Is that the next stage of Warband competitive scene? Are there going to have to be drug tests to?
I think so. I'm pretty sure everyone's on Ritalin already. Look.
I think that will be interesting if we took a drug swab of everyone after the game to see how much, maybe in Dopey's team's case, maybe how dope they are. But anyway, that's a bad joke, and we're going to go on to the next map now, the second of the 3 maps. It's going to be Sandy Bush, a classic map. It's been around in the competitive scene for donkey's years, made by Captain Lust, our previous community manager. Do you think we're going to see anything crazy come out, or do you think it's going to be box standard? Right, nothing crazy, boys.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting, right? Because whilst I said FT should win this map, it is Nords versus Swadia, and Nords you'd think have a big advantage. Now I know Swadia have the long all pikes. I don't think that's enough to deal with the jabs or the infantry advantage. And if that's the case, that adds a random element. When both teams are smashing it, all you need is one round. That puts the cat amongst the pigeons a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's gonna be, as you say, a cat amongst the pigeons, because both teams are gonna have their advantages, but it just really depends on who manages to utilize it.
I think Scar and Pete as an inf pair are going to be really hot to handle. Charlini, he's really aggressive. He's very good as well. They've got a Liverand, I imagine, will be coming in. You saw what Gibby could do on the last. I mean, they're going to be hot to handle. So what they'll do is they'll switch Pete to infantry, and they'll have Doom and Sir Alex playing Cav, I imagine. That means, I mean, that's so much inf power, that's so much raw strength in that inf lineup to deal with. And Dopey's got some great inf, but I don't know if they've got enough good inf to deal with that.
Yeah, I think that's a very wise prediction. Requires many years in a scene level of prediction, that though, as we see. Like a lot of players have, I think most players in both teams have probably played together in a team at some stage. So nothing really, they're not going to be surprised by the skill level that comes out from players. They're just going to have to be prepared to deal with that. And just as a short tangent, we just want to thank all the two tournament organisers really. For setting this tournament up. Again, we don't want to get political, but forum members are constantly talking about how the scene's dead, and that's been a regular comment for many, many years. But it's tournaments like these that keep people coming back. Quite obviously, we have two teams in the final, and it's nothing too crazy. A lot of the same names, but it's going to be an interesting next year, I'd say, for Warband and maybe Tell Worlds in general. Do you see any crazy things happening, Deacon? Do you see any? Are we predicting a release this year?
I wouldn't hedge my bets. I've given up. I think it's a mugs game predicting that these days. Who knows? I mean, listen, I look forward to when it does come out. I'm just not waiting for it anymore, which is what I think a lot of people are thinking right now. I mean, everyone's going to play it, but we're past the point now where you're like, oh, I can't wait for it to come out. You're just like, I guess it'll come out at some point.
I think that's absolutely true. Everyone's just waiting now. They can't really be bothered anymore to expect it. They just know it's going to be released, hopefully, in their lifetime. But anyway, we move on to the classic map of Sandy Bush with Nords being helmed by Frontline Tactics and Swadia. Their ranks being filled in. What are you seeing, Deacon?
4 inf. I love that.
That is a big.
They've got 4 inf. So they haven't actually. Pete's playing Cav. So they haven't done what I thought they've done. They've still got an unbelievably strong inf lineup. You expect to see like Scar and Gibby going wild in these melees, but also expect to see. I mean, you've got these Dopey infantry. They're not going to die. They're no mugs either. I mean, you've got Brian, you've got Thor, you've got Habi Mano. Like, they're quality inf, and Tomias as well. So should be a really good round. They're going to need a lot of damage from the All-Pikes. From the All-Pike Cav, they have to do damage, because otherwise you're just not going to win those melees. Doesn't matter how good you are.
Yeah, and as we now receive status on the server, we can see now that Dopey have taken up residence in the middle of the courtyard as where the flag spawns. As you say, you're loving the 4 infantry from Frontline Tactics. Big, bold statement there, but very tough to handle, as we see actually both sides taking up 4 infantry. Going to be really interesting to see. And now the jabs come out, even Raiden being suppressed by some javelins up there in the graveyard stairs. He's just going to be slapping down there, really going to remain relatively untouched, as Dopey infantry remain quite passive, actually.
They've only got 1 Cav. That's quite interesting for Swadia. You usually expect to see 2 wanting to utilise that.
And infantry now coming together now as Thor actually takes down Scar. Nice to see him take to the battlefield. Actually, he gets 2 kills. Double kill for him as he takes down Doom. Gibby also takes down Brian. Nice. Oh, and Charlini gets a really awkward but brilliant kill with his javelin on Dopey. Raiden, in the meantime, has got a point-blank kill on Gibby as he comes behind. He's descended from the stairs, but Peter actually gets a stab on Tomias with Charlini also taking down Thor. But Dopey, hold on. What just happened? Wow. Did Raiden just win the round for his team?
Theft. Absolute theft.
Wow, disgusting.
You can't do that. Should be illegal.
I can't actually I can't actually put into words what just happened, because maybe I just didn't know what happened. Raiden came in, descended from the stairs, got a kill on Gibby, and then survived against 2 infantry for like 10 seconds and managed to win the round. That was an absolute steal.
Yeah.
FT must be fuming.
It's the interesting thing about these flag timers, right? Because I think a lot of people are still playing kind of, it's hard to remember them, to be honest. Like, hard to remember how short they are. And you saw Dopey move in. They moved in and they were on that flag for a long time before FT were ready with their Jav crossfires. So the fight was going either way, and all that while they didn't apply the same flag pressure, whilst Dopey still had that flag up. And that made a difference in the end. And like you saw the kind of work the X's and Javs were doing by the end. Really nice work by a few of the guys. Charlini picking up 3, but it just wasn't enough with the flags. But they've got armor now. Look how tanked Charlini is, and he'll be expecting to get some kills here.
Oh, definitely. That they must be absolutely fuming, because that should have been their round. And at this stage, every round matters, especially with the potential to go to 100 round plus games in one day. That I can't even imagine how tired and annoyed they must be to play for such a long duration. But they're still bringing out high quality games for us to stream and watch. So the infantry of FT are now going to move in. They've decided they're going to push. Dopey Thor has taken a big hit. Rind, meantime, is trying to take down Charlini, but it's just all kind of mix and mash at the moment. Gibby gets a double kill on Rind and Thor. Big play for him. Well done to him, and finishes off Brian. Charlini getting that final kill. Dopey's been caught up, actually. Yeah, he's going to get taken down by Gibby, who gets a sweet jump javelin kill on him, and Raiden is pushed down from his high stair sniper position and just taken down. That was pretty, straightforward for FT. They were not happy about losing that last round.
Yeah, it was a really good round from FT. What you saw there, quite important thing happening on the stairs. So they kind of committed an infantry to protect Raiden on the stairs, so he could free fire, which usually, right, with an archer faction, I'd be like, great idea. The rate of fire, he can do enough damage. But with crossbows, he had 2 shots. Now he hit a shield and he hit a horse. That's not enough. That's not enough. So they've committed 2 people there. They've kept Scar out of the fight, but then they've had Raiden unable to contribute enough because of the crossbow. So they were -1 in the fight, and all the while they've got the Peter and Doom doing tons of damage in the fight, and they just didn't have enough.
Yeah. There's nothing really to add there. That's exactly what happened. And they're going to try and, I don't know if they're going to maybe replicate that as now the flag spawns in the alleyway. Flag pressure being put on, and like you mentioned already, some players maybe forgetting the flag timer and how quickly it can actually rise with these infantry, and they're going to put the pressure on again. Tanked up Gibby and Charlini just waiting.
This is horrible.
Tobias and Anka are going to push Charlini at the top of the stairs as Cav now commit to help the infantry on the ground. Gibby's pushing forward now, but Anka manages to rear Peter up, but he gets taken down by Charlini. Good interplay there between the 2 infantry. Bumps coming in left, right and centre with Doom coming in. Charlini takes down Anka. Scar takes down Thor. Gibby does actually get taken down by Brian, but it's not enough. Double kill coming in for Scar. Charlini, another javelin kill on Dopey. That's the 2nd time now he's died to a javelin. And Peter takes down Brian. So, yeah, really efficient now. FT are booking up their ideas and just sweeping Dopey away.
Yeah, really rough that. They need to change something. I can't tell you what they should change. They've gone for 4 infantry. I think that probably makes sense. They need to do something because it's getting hard, and it's going to get even harder now because they're even more tanked. Nord's just going to run them down now by the looks of it.
Yeah, very wise move. I think the aggression's going to pay off. Dopey.
This ain't bad though. This ain't bad. This is the best fight they can get.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of all pikes actually coming out for Dopey now. Peter almost gets taken down, but he manages to escape that little corner as 2 fights kick off now between the infantry. Doom takes down Thor, but on the other side, Anka takes down Olgron, but Gibby pushing once again. Great play from Gibby, as always. Peter takes down Brian with a superb javelin throw. Actually, Anka takes down Scar with his all-pike, and Peter gets a double javelin kill on Dopey. That's the 3rd time Dopey's been taken down by javelin. Cannot like that at all. In the meantime, Charlini taking down Anka with Peter getting a triple kill. That's just absolutely amazing play from FT. No prisoners for FT. Absolutely no prisoners.
Yeah, it's just too much, and you saw it was a good place to fight for Dopey. They had the 2 cav ready to go. They're fighting a very open position, and even with all that, they couldn't pick up the round. And I just can't see how they win a round, to be honest.
Yeah, this it's just not enough. I don't know if this round still counts. I believe that it was first to 3, but it doesn't seem like they're remembering that, as Peter takes down a double kill. I guess a double kill, shall I say, on Dopey. First time he's actually died to a sword. Charlini takes down Tamias, and Oliveran takes down Rind as well.
So it's just first 5. It's best of 5 again. It's first to 3 is for the tiebreakers.
Oh yes, of course, yes. Yeah, this is my mistake, you guys. Not paying attention. This is what happens. You slip up live on stream, but it's good job Deacon's here to correct me of all the errors. Deacon's basically doing the job of all the chat right now, correcting me on all the errors. But I think really it didn't. In my defence, I don't think that last round really mattered that much because we kind of knew FT were going to win.
Yeah, you're right, and it looked a lot like Dopey knew that, right? They just ran in. They were just like, whatever, like let's just get this over with. They ran in, they lost, and they kind of had given up a little bit by the looks of it. And you got to think the only round they won was kind of a fluke.
Yeah, you're right. It was a little bit fluky. Raiden managing to steal that round away from FT, which looked quite.
To be fair, the first round did go down to the wire, and I mean, Dopey did all the right things. They took the extra cav later on when they had to, but the Nord imp was just way too much. The Jazz were getting kills, but mainly just those axes in the team fight. It was just too much.
So how do you see FT now dealing with Dopey taking Nords? Do you think they're going to try and have some sort of counter to all those?
Maybe they won't take a crossbow. I could maybe see that. Maybe two cav for inf, or they're just going to back their inf to win the fights where Dopey lost them. I don't think there's like a direct easy counter you can do. I don't think taking extra crossbows is going to work. Could work on an open map, won't work on this map. So I think either back their inf or take that extra, or take an extra inf and hope that's enough.
Yeah, this is the big predictions coming out now. I mean, really only time will tell as what decisions they make. But the ball in Dopey's corner now, I'd say. They need to really make a move now. They need to either decide, you know what, all right, guys, we're gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna hail them with the javelins, get those early kills, and then just tank up with all of our infantry. Or maybe they've got a tactic that they've trained with, and they're going to be like, right, no, we're going to stick with that. We're not going to try and mess around. We're going to see what they decide. They've got a lot. There's a lot of players on the bench, so to speak. They can make substitutions. So, I mean, we're going to see what happens.
It's hard though, because I think, as far as I'm aware, Raiden is doing the calling for them. So, unless they drop their caller, they're going to play an archer. And I don't think many teams really like dropping callers in the middle of a match.
Yeah, that's true. So they're going to have to really be very careful about who they decide to play. The next set now kicking off though, and just to clarify that the previous set was 4-1 to Nords. We apologise if anything's wrong. After all, guys, we are only human.
So they are dropping Raiden by the looks of it. They want to unless Raiden's come back in with his old name apparently.
No. How many names do we have?
Clan names. Everyone seems to be using old clan names by the looks of it.
Why do you think that is? Is it a bit of nostalgia? I mean, we see you taking up AE, Deacon Barry, but AE not been present in a tournament for a few tournaments now. But I mean, what would your response to the critics out there?
If you can wear the AE tag, then you wear the AE tag, right?
Wow,
There's no better tag in Warband.
That is very true. a symbol of victory and all conquering. But now, as we see AE take a step back, we see different teams form, and two of the best teams right now fighting for the title of Warband Winter Cup 2018/19 Grand Champion.
Yeah, I mean they've gone for the 4 imp strat. They've got a really nice infantry lineup. We'll see what they can do. I'm really curious. I mean, if you look at, have you seen Scar? He's taken this tank build, and that means he's going to be able to get that even better armor next round probably if he survives. So it all kind of hinges on that. If the Swardians can pick up a round, they can start getting tanked. They can win. And here comes the push.
Yeah, we see the infantry now actually pushing quite cautiously from both teams, as they know that Menethil is up there. He can get some dangerous headshots from that angle, but he's actually getting pinned down by javelins. Dopey going to push in now. Gibby actually takes down Ast, who got caught up behind. He tried to do a little bit of a cheeky backstab there, but it didn't make any rush. Actually, Peter gets a stab on Dopey and takes him straight down with his ult pipe. Really powerful play. Gibby taking down Anchor. The infantry's falling apart for Dopey. Not expecting this at all. Wow, an FT whitewash. Nords has swayed it in the first round. Did not expect that at all. FT looking dominant.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard. It won't be really hard because Nords are Nords, right? But it's going to be a lot harder now because Gibby should have really good armor. Peter, who has got infantry, he's going to have really good armor. Scar's got armor as well. It's going to get very difficult.
Yeah, this is just not looking great for Dopey.
They got jabs as well too now, and here comes the push.
Oh my word, yeah, they're just being uber aggressive right now. They know that they can take and win this infantry fight convincingly. Brian and Peter are going to fight it out like some sort of heroes on that top beam there. They're going to push down towards the stairs. Actually, Charlini takes out Anchor. Scar gets a double kill with Dopey being taken down by a javelin. Bane of his life right now in this match, javelins for Dopey. Ask just get maybe a helpful little kill on Menethil, but really doesn't help at all as Scar gets a triple kill on Brian.
Quality by Scar. Absolutely immense by Scar. What a player. Pete doing really good work. Gibby doing great work as well. Too much, and they absolutely smashed them on that map. Brutal stuff, and getting that out of your head's going to be hard for Dopey, depending on what the next map is, right?
Wow. I'm still a little actually confused about the score system. I'm not going to lie. I feel like we just played 2 rounds, but I suppose it's just because they won the map anyway, so that there's no need to carry on. Changing times, the times are moving quickly, Deacon. Before we'd, mandatorily take on the next rounds, but now none of that crap. Carrying on straight to the next.
That's definitely a big advantage of the format. You can just sack it off right at the end instead of having to play all of it because rounds don't.
Yeah, you're right. It's all about the win now. So yeah, we go on to the third and final map of the Warband Winter Cup final between Dopey and Frontline Tactics, and it's going to be Frosthaven, a map that many regular viewers and players will be familiar with. It's going to be Saranids versus Rodox. Again, not too crazy of factions. Both have their strengths, I'd say. What do you envision the teams playing for this, Deacon?
I think 2 crossbows. To be honest, I'm not sure if they're going to do it FT, but I think you kind of might need to. If not, then we'll definitely see at least 3 cav from both sides. I think 2 arch. I think Dopey will take 2 archers and crossbows. FT might just take the 1, and then whoever's not playing that will be playing inf. I think they'll be pretty similar setups though. I expect Saranids to win, unless it's like a really extended fight where the crossbows can consistently hit the horses, start dismounting them. Otherwise, that maneuverability from the Saranid cav and the archer fire rate is just going to be too much.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. This really going to come down to how well these teams have practiced this map, because it is a bit of a funny map in terms of positioning, because obviously the flags vary in terms of where, well, obviously where they are, but you know, the advantages that certain teams have. You know, where, by the Bastion, for example, obviously that team that spawned that side, they'll have that opportunity to take that rock as well as the tower. But then equally, by the frozen lake, the other team will have that round tower to take hold up. So it's really going to be interesting about who, you know, maybe preemptively pushes towards a position and try and get the advantage with their rangers.
You've got to say, I mean, Dopey will be very, very happy to not be in a closed map, won't they?
Oh yeah, definitely. This, if anything was going to benefit them, it would be this sort.
Yeah, I think they really needed a map like this, and I had FT winning it. I still have FT winning it. This being the last map does make things a lot more interesting.
I mean, that momentum that FT have with them now, you know, 6 consecutive round wins.
Yeah, but they're starting
really,
Rodok, so it's not good. Not a lot of fun playing Rodok Cav.
Well, I suppose you could say it's not a lot of fun playing Swady or Inf against Nord, but they clearly showed us wrong.
That was just, they were so decisive on that map, FT, and they didn't give them time to set up. I mean, maybe part of it's down to changing cooler halfway through. I don't know, but they didn't look decisive at all, and they were just kind of waiting to get pushed in, and FT just went wild on them.
Yeah, and as we talk about callers, we can maybe hone in a little bit on individual players. As we've seen some incredible individual performances from players, not just in this match, but in the semi-final as well. As you were saying, Raiden was unbelievable in the semi-final, but now maybe the fatigue's showing.
He's had some very good rounds, hasn't he? He didn't do a lot on Sandy Bush, but I mean, nobody on their team did they? No,
not really. And now the crucial rounds coming in as we see Frontline Tactics leading Dopey by 8-6. Could still go either way. Dopey are not out of this by any means, but you know, Frontline Tactics do have the momentum, and this isn't a map that they'll be afraid of. They have cavalry. They have very good cavalry.
Yeah, they have got some amazing cav. Obviously, Alex, absolutely brilliant right now. Pete is just probably the best cav in the game. Probably the best cav ever. Doom has just come on leaps and bounds. Like, Doom's such a strong cav now. Bump stabs everything in sight. And it just depends if they want to play 4 cav, who that 4th cav's going to be. Because there's no natural 4th cav. I will say that about him.
Yeah, that is a real intricate comment, that there's no natural cav. I like that. And as we see this final set come about, we're going to be paying close attention to the setups, actually, because it could be a variety of different class setups. As we see Dopey take Saranids first, and Frontline Tactics take
2 crossbows. Yep, they've gone for it then. Fair play. I think probably the right decision. They're going to be looking for those crossbows to put out a lot of kind of damage onto the horses. Even if they're not hitting headshots, they're going to be needing them to whittle down those Saranid cavalry, because in those dogfights, Saranid cavalry will absolutely murder the Rodoks.
Oh, definitely. And this, not actually a surprise yet again to see Scar be the lone infantry, as he's shown time and time again. He is a force to be reckoned with just by himself. But interesting to see 2 crossbows coming out. I mean, maybe not that interesting, actually, because it is a large map. It's an open map, and they do have the capacity to have 2 crossbows. So I mean, maybe they just want to try it out. I mean, they are winning, but more of a predictable setup coming from Dopey.
Yeah, they're kind of setting up, Dopey pushing around that kind of side of the... Personally, I prefer pushing around on this other side, because you can contest the hill a bit more easily. They've got a lot of dead area to kind of move through at the moment, and it's going to be awkward. Lovely shot onto Kane, though, takes damage. He's going to have to be a lot more careful. Yeah,
and I'm liking this little place that Kane has, but like you said, he's been shot, so he is going to have to be more...
Raiden getting attacked right now by a lot of cav.
Yeah, the fight taking place, like you said, in this dead area. They are going to Scar's going to pull back now. He knows that he can't get caught out there, especially with Raiden and Matt now pushing around. Cav actually engaging Doom as he dismounts. He's going to try and ward off Dopey and Brian. Brian now comes down to help Anchor fight off Scar, who's managing to stab a lot of Cav, and Brian gets reared up. Anchor gets a big hit. Scar takes down Brian though, and Matt shoots Menethil as he's attempting to reposition himself. Scar has dismounted Dopey, and now he's attempting to kill him. Not being successful at the moment as Raiden gets a kill on Doom, but Dopey, Anchor actually gets 2 kills in quick succession. Wow, Dopey pulling it out of the bag there with Peter and Kane getting taken down by Anchor at the last second, and Ash taking down Scar.
They really needed Kane. Kane had a great shield, and he probably died a little bit too easily to Anchor there. They needed him to stay alive, and whilst that looked like a really close, they only actually got 1 kill.
Yeah, wow, they actually did get 1 kill. I
know.
didn't realise.
It looked super tight, and it was one of those rounds which everyone's slowly picking up damage throughout the fight, and then eventually it all just kind of fell apart for FT. They looked good, and they looked competitive there, and that will give them hope as Road Dogs going into them.
Yeah, strong start for Dopey. This is what they needed if they were in contention to take this final set. This is how they would want to start. Flag now spawning in their favour. Matt's going to head up to that Bastion Tower now. He's going to have a decent little sneaky position up there to shoot down onto the flag. It is a little bit awkward. You can't see too well onto the flag. There was that corner, but I suppose he could just jump round, and that's not an issue actually. Anchor's just going to take refuge.
For Anchor. Once both crossbows are in position, it's going to be awkward. On the other hand, the fire rate of the crossbows, like we talked about earlier, isn't that high, and it's not necessarily going to be easy for them to apply as much pressure and shut down Anchor, because Anchor's shield is very, very big.
Yeah, I thought Kane was actually going to move around the side there, but no, he's just gonna remain in his little position around that side of the house.
Looks like they want Menethil to contest the tower. He keeps moving down, but he's a bit scared of the Cav right now, and he's right to be scared.
Yeah, and the infantry now engaging as 2 Cav try and get in there, Brian and Ast, but they don't manage to get anything done. Actually, I'm wrong, they do manage to get something done as they take down Scar, but then equally, so Alex comes out of nowhere and takes down Dopey. Huge kill coming in there. Both infantry taken down before the main fight has even begun, but Matt gets a brilliant headshot on Sir Alex there. He's shooting down without contestation. Doom is trying to push him off, but he's just going to remain shooting at Menethil. Is he going to try and get a controversial foot shot? We don't know. He's being pushed away by Doom now. He's being forced into the infantry engagement. Brian and Menethil both on very low health. What's going to happen now is that Menethil has got 2 big hits on Matt, but Dooms is taken down by Brian. Still on low health. Peter's also on low health, and he gets taken down by Raiden. Menethil actually taken down Brian, and Matt also gets another kill. Should I say on Kane? Wow, out of nowhere.
Kane's been taken off. They're replacing Kane, and they're bringing in another imp, and I think that's the right decision.
Yeah, a big and quick decision made there in the middle of the round for FT. They don't want to lose this last set. You know, well, not the last set, but they don't want to lose this set in such horrendous fashion that I think absolutely you're right, getting another imp there. Why? Dopey doing really, really well there to, you know, just keep the pressure on, and they're using all their classes really brilliant.
I mean, why has Scar got a sword? I don't quite understand. Like, Menethil's running with the soldier's cleaver. Scar's running around with a crappy sword. It's barely going to do any damage. It's going to be a real struggle. And now you've got this open flag. They're going to need Menethil to do some serious work, because I don't think it's going to be very fun being an imp.
No, I don't think it is going to be fun at all. As
the
Cav just chilling out. Yeah, I mean, you've played infantry for pretty much most of your Warband career. I think I can accurately.
Yeah, I played crossbow in the WNL Season 1 final. But that was
if people want to go check that out, I'm sure that there's a link somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere.
Anchor just going to remain steadfast on the flag as he tries to put pressure on Charlini and Scar, who wisely and cautiously approach. Not a huge crossfire, but it's still scary to go against these 2 archers, Matt and Raiden. Matt known to pull absolutely crazy plays on this map specifically.
Nice pressure coming in on the imp. Ooh, lucky to survive.
Brian actually does take down Scar, who had his sword out. As you said, not a great infantry weapon, as Charlini gets a kill back on Anchor. It's just Charlini by himself. He does take down Brian, who is taken down by Sir Alex, so great interplay between them two. Dopey actually does outreach Charlini with his spear, and he gets a double kill, and somehow he doesn't get killed by Sir Alex's shield, managing to completely protect him in the back as well. Raiden gets bumped down by Sir Alex, who dismounts, and he's now going to try and take down Raiden. Menethil easily taken down by Dopey there, as Raiden finishes off the job against Sir Alex. He's now just going to remain on the flag, as it's just Peter, who does take down Matt. I think he was keeping him busy. Wise decision there from FT, but
not quite enough, was it? And
no, not enough.
I mean, Peter, that's the last cav you want dismounting on you, isn't it, really? Because you're going to be in serious trouble when he does. But he's also one of their most impactful cavs, so I don't know, maybe getting someone else to fight him would have been a better idea. Didn't work out in the end, and the just very clutch. Those clutch 2 kills, that double kill from Dopey, winning the round, really secured the round single-handedly. Unbelievably high quality play from him. What a great player.
Yeah, that was pretty insane. I mean, it just seems like all players are just having their fair share of the limelight. That each player just goes ham in one round. I think wisely they're not doing it all at the same.
Are they going to change things up again? I think if they lose this round, I can see them changing it up again. Doesn't look like they're doing it.
Yeah, I'm going to be very curious as to how Dopey push this flag now. I mean, they've got the advantage, they've got the armor, they've got the momentum, but this flag is really not in their favour. As Menethil actually gets shot from behind, very surprisingly lax of him. He just was running with his shield down, not even bothered, and he was punished by that.
I think as well, Anchor just changing equipment in the middle of the open. I would not be taking these risks personally, but
yeah, especially in the final rounds as well. It's not what you it's not what you expect from your top players, but they're going to push round now, and that's interesting because typically teams approach from straight away from their spawn. They're going to push up towards this hill, should I say, not mountain.
Raiden
does get his shield. Yeah. So Alex comes out of nowhere yet again and couches Raiden and actually gets a double kill on Anchor. Huge play from Sir Alex. That's really a great start if you want to have a comeback now, as Doom takes down Matt as well. Peter's been dismounted, but that's not going to bother him, as he is now going to go help Menethil and the rest of the infantry. Doom comes around couching but doesn't get anything done, as it's just the Sounded Cav remaining now. Dopey's still alive with full health, and he's going to, if he's going to come back, it's going to be on his shoulders with Brian and Ast. It just doesn't seem like anything decisive right now is happening, but actually Dopey does get taken down and killed, so that's pretty decisive, as Ast is trying to swap equipment again. What is it with this like absolute no need for such reckless behaviour in the middle of at the end of a round?
I think that round was lost before Dopey died. Probably better off just leaving, saving your equipment, because they were never.
Wow, that did not go how Dopey would have liked at all. FT doing a great job. Sir Alex especially, 5-3. He really performed at the top of his game that round. He he's just been coming out of nowhere. Like, I'm just focusing on one player, and then literally he just appears from seemingly the edge of the map somehow. It's obviously just not the infantry not doing very well in terms of communication and keeping a lookout, but he makes top players seem like amateurs on IG Battlegrounds.
Yeah, it was quite interesting. I think Raiden losing his shield that early, it made it so difficult for them to win that. And now they're splitting off Raiden on this left-hand side. I fully expect the FT Imp to push all the way around here, and then it's going to be pretty awkward, but we'll see.
The flag spawned yet again by the Bastion. I think this is actually a frozen little river. This part of the map. There's a boat there, so that suggests it's a river.
Azan is very creative when making the map. Well done, Azan.
Yeah, thanks to him. As we can go to the, I think the Bliv Bridge. Is it Blavanderfar's skeleton that's underneath this bridge over here by the...
Is.
Is this true that he includes that in every map that he makes?
That is true, yeah.
Well, there you go, a little bit of Warband trivia for you, in case you wanted to learn something new. The flag actually is quite... Well, it was high, and now it's going back down as FT have pushed Anchor off the flag. He's going to expect some help from his cav, but actually FT respond by coming in and bumping him down, but that was not utilised by Scar. It's just going to be Anchor coming back now, and Brian comes out of nowhere now, and he takes down Cholini with a couch lance, and so big play from the cav again. Anchor's just really low now. He's fighting Scar, who's on full health. Oh, Ast gets a double kill as he takes down Scar. Raiden has been shooting from that little platform, and he gets a double headshot kill on Sir Alex and then Doom. And then Dopey takes down Peter as well. So, yeah, Dopey cleaning up there.
A lot of that has to be, for me, a faction advantage. We're about to find out how much of it was faction advantage, because I think 4-1 is a pretty hard score to come back to, even with a faction advantage.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even paying attention to the score, really. It's just every round is so close. Yeah, 10-9 in favour of Dopey. They turned this around. Frontline Tactics had a momentum from Sandy Bush. That clearly was their map. But now, as we were saying before the break, that if this was a map that anyone wanted favour with, it would be Dopey, and they've made it quite clear that they are willing to put up a tremendous fight for Frontline Tactics. And yeah, wow, what a last set.
So I'm trying to think, what do FT need? 4 rounds and a draw. 4 rounds and a draw would win it. Anything less than 4 rounds and they've lost.
Yeah, so the pressure really on every single player on every single second, because yeah, I think you're right. The 4 rounds, otherwise they can't win.
It's going to be very.
There's no way there can be a draw, can there? No, there's no way there can be.
Yeah, 4-1's a draw.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, my maths not helping me at all. Yeah, it can still be a draw. I'm not too sure actually what happens if it's a draw. Do they?
So they
continue?
They replay the sets, but instead of 5 rounds, it's 3 rounds.
Okay. Wow. So are we going to see Infinite Warband return? I don't know. For the players' sakes, I hope not, because they've been. Did we maybe work out? Maybe have a guesstimate that they'd play something like 100+ rounds if this continues.
Well, it depends. I think maybe I was being dramatic for effect, but it's a lot of rounds and there's a lot more Warband than people are used to playing. I'm very curious to see what Dopey run with crossbow-wise. There's definitely going to be a temptation on their part to run the 2 crossbows, but does that just leave your Imp and your Cav too outnumbered?
I'm not too sure. That is a good question. It's really going to depend on now the brains of the operations to come out and make some important decisions.
I mean, you'd have to say the Cav advantage, for me at least, was a lot of the difference maker. Obviously, Raid did super well, but the quality of Saranid Cav, just that maneuverability, just so effective in dogfights. And you saw FD players who are such good Cav losing dogfights. They probably wouldn't lose if it was equal faction advantages.
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant term there, coining it as dogfights. That's exactly what it is, really, because the Cav are so good on each team. So it's really, I kind of want to say that it's a bit of chance, because both teams have shown that they can just quite easily wipe the floor with the other.
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely an element of a chance and an element of Rodox have short lances and Saranids have long lances.
All right, so we hope the final set, or maybe we don't hope. It's really up to the viewers. Would they like to see more Warband played? I mean, I think you've had your fair share if you feel like you want to see more. But now we're going to see the teams take to the field for the last time, as we see Rodox being held by Dopey and Frontline Tactics taking Saranid.
They're running with the 2 crossbows again, just like FT did on the first set. Presumably, 3 Cav and 1 Imps. This is exactly the same as what they were running. FT was running at the start, and it really wasn't working, to be honest. So we'll see. whether they have to change it up as well. Sarin is to get the flag there.
They do get the flag. I don't think we've seen... Actually, no, I've lied. We have seen all flags, haven't we? We're going to see Frontline Tactics just chill out around the flag. They're going to put some pressure on Dopey. Raiden does have a Wasp Spear. Some good little play there. Good drops. It's just standard now for players to know the drops inside and out. Well, the commanders would argue otherwise.
So they're running to Imp quite interestingly, FT. Gibby gets shot in the foot. That does mean they don't have the same archer pressure, and the archers were doing a lot for the Saranids in the last set, so we'll see.
Yeah, if viewers want to see foot shots in action in the highest level of play in competitive Warband, just look at Gibby's right sandal, and he has been shot through, I want to say the ankle. Could be the heel, could be Achilles version. But Dopey Anchor now is going to push onto the flag. He's going to ask for some help from his own cav, but he actually gets shot by Menethil.
Timer's going down.
Time is going down. There's only 25 seconds left. Anchor's now going to be forced to push off the flag. He takes down Gibby with one fell swoop, but he himself gets taken down by Sir Alex, who comes out of nowhere yet again. The phantom that is Sir Alex. Brian, in his own time, has taken down Charlene, but Doom gets a bump kill on Ast, who was dismounting, and Sir Alex himself gets Brian on the end of his sword. Doom tries to take down Matt, who does get a big stab on him, but he's taken down by Dopey. So it's just Dopey now. I thought he was maybe going to try and dismount, but not enough time left. The time, huge factor. Matt takes down Menethil. Maybe they're going to try and be careful of coin. But yeah, the flag yet again playing a dominant role in deciding who wins that round.
Yeah, it was very influential. It's happened in a lot of rounds, hasn't it? You saw Sir Alex and Doom picking up 3 kills between them. There's actually 4 kills for Dopey. So that's got to be tough for them. I'm sure they'll, once again though, Rodok's still looking competitive in these early rounds. They need a few more kills from the crossbows, I guess, in order to pick one up.
And FT are going to be quite aggressive, and they're going to try and assert their position in prep for this flag. And it does spawn there, so the flag god's in their favour. I'm interested to see if Menethil is going to try and take the round tower or not. I think they thought about it, but obviously that's Dopey's favourite position.
Yeah, the Dopey guy's a bit too near, and it kind of forces the early fight if they do that. It forces a big fight over there, and the Saranids don't really want that. Saranids want an open fight so that Cav can start winning those fights.
Speaking of Cav, Dopey, Brian tries to get a cheeky little couch there, but he's going to be warded off by FT's own Cav. Menethil is going to take up position now on the side of this hill. He's just going to rain down arrows of terror. He's going to get a little bit of suppression from Dopey. Matt, actually, yes. My apologies, Matt is up there on the tower, but Brian actually gets reared up by Charlene with his bamboo spear. He does manage to come off relatively unscathed. He is down by quite a lot of health. Anchor gets a stab on Sir Alex, who himself... Oh, Brian missed Sir Alex. That was not what you want to be doing, but he does actually take down Charlene. Dopey are coming back now. This is huge play. Peter taking down Brian, though, as he was dismounted. Brian without a shield now. It's going to be interesting to see if he gets killed. Menethil's being engaged by Ast now. That's clever from Ast. He's going to try and keep this archer at bay as Raiden's had free roam, and he gets a shot on Doom, and he kills him. Great play at the end there. It's just Dopey and Sir Alex with Anchor actually on the flag. Ast tries to come in, but Peter just quickly dispatches with him like some sort of bug. Dopey gets a big kill on Sir Alex. He gets stabbed himself, but it's not enough as Matt does team kill at the end, but Dopey just managing to win that with a very few seconds left on the flag, but that didn't matter as they dispatched with the entire team. Yeah,
Dopey securing the draw at least now. Blimey. It looked like FT had it, but Anchor did so well. I know I think he only got 1 kill in that round, but he backed off for ages. He had 2 inf all over him. He had Cav all trying to kill him. He backed off with a spear in his hand. They just couldn't kill him. They couldn't bring him down, and he survived long enough to act as a focal point. And the Cav around were just getting kills. Raiden was getting kills. Dopey going huge again. Dopey's having a hell of a map.
What a guy. What a player. And you're right, Anchor was the anchor for that last round. He really held it together for just huge individual play coming through now as we get the opportunity maybe that we couldn't get with 8v8s. Now that, you know, individuals just get to shine really in their classes. Anchor's now going to put pressure on FT's infantry as he puts the flag up. He's just going to have his war spear out intelligently because the enemy cav's still very dangerous at this point.
Are they missing not having Kane in? That's what I'm wondering. Do they kind of need the second archer?
That is a big question. Are FT going to suffer by not having another player who's very good in the range?
Here comes the imp though. They really want to apply pressure on Anchor. And they get him.
Yeah, and the kill's coming in now. Doom takes down Anchor. Not what you want to see, as he was the main focal point, as you said. But Dopey actually gets a kill on Doom with his couch lance. Dopey playing tremendously in this set and this map, actually. Raiden's got nothing but his spear, but he is surviving against Menethil as Ass takes down Sir Alex. Charlini's going to try and come and help him out with his bamboo spear. He does miss, but Raiden's still somehow alive. Menethil's now going to try and shoot him, and he does get him. But as you say, the flag is still a major point as there's only 15 seconds left. Charlini's going to go and help out against Brian and Matt. As Peter now takes out his lance and he's going to try and stun Matt, and he does manage to stun Matt. He's now going to go and try and stun Brian, and he does successfully stun Brian as Charlini finishes him off. Dopey's still alive though, and he's just playing tremendously, and he's going to try and do something to ease this defeat.
Good stuff there. They kind of shutting down Anchor that early, just changed the fight. It's really hard. The Cav don't have the people to fight. There's nothing to take anything off the crossbows. It's just too much pressure on the support classes once Anchor goes down.
I don't know if I can handle this anymore.
A lot of pressure, isn't it? Pete going huge in that round though. You saw him pick up a kill, but also just that stun work, that saved the round. Absolutely brilliant. He pulls out the special one, as he does so often, and picks up the round by doing those shield stuns, because there's no way they were getting through that board shield otherwise.
Absolutely. He knows what tools to utilise at the right time. I think it's just a matter of seeing how resilient Dopey are now. This is real depth now. Fatigue playing an actual role, and you know, true resilience is gonna play a major factor in how well these guys perform to the very end.
Yeah, FT just need to hold their nerve. They've got the better faction. They just need to pick up the next two rounds, and they've got the draw. It's a lot of pressure on their shoulders.
Raiden now gonna tuck away now in this little corner. He tries to remain out of sight of Menethil, which he does. It's an interesting little position. He is open to Cav, but Brian's going to protect him from the back. But as I say that, Brian moves away. I think the Cav of Dopey are going to try and engage something now. So Alex tries to get a little sneaky push on Raiden, almost gets a stab on him, but Raiden gets his shield up. No kills actually coming in yet, but a lot of health being taken down. We see Anchor now push, and Raiden actually does should I say shoot Gibby, and all the kills coming in now as Brian takes down Charlini. So Alex gets one back on Brian, but Anchor finishes off Sir Alex, who just dispatched Brian. Ash now taking down Doom, and Anchor gets a double kill. Great play. If this round is won by Dopey, they've won the final.
Even the white flash can't win this.
Oh my word. GG's. Dopey have won. It doesn't matter that it's 2-2 for their set. They've managed to win back the rounds that they needed to take the whole match, and congratulations to Dopey.
And talking mad smack, did you see that?
Already. Too soon.
Wow. Incredible stuff. They weren't happy with each other. There was a little bit of bad blood between a few of these team members. So
well, I mean, it's not surprising, as a lot of rivalry and history between these players and teams. big win for Dopey. I mean, we both thought, FT looking a little bit more dominant, and they were after that second match.
Yeah, definitely. I really thought FT had it. That second map, they absolutely mauled them. They look absolutely unstoppable in close maps. I mean, how good was Dopey? Like, not the team. The team was great as well. Don't get me wrong. But like the player Dopey, he was absolutely immense. He was everywhere.
He was insane. He just seemed to be a present force everywhere. I think maybe the team being named after him just turned God mode.
I wonder also, will they regret benching Scar a bit? Do you think?
I think they might. I think that is a lot of questionable decisions really about with the benching of Kane, Scar.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so many of the players, like there's not a single player I could criticise, to be honest. Like they all played really well. Like the commanding was on point from both. I think that one question mark would be for me not playing that extra archer, perhaps let them down a bit.
Yeah, some questionable decisions in the final moments of a intense day of war banding, if I can say that correctly. Both teams, I'm sure, will be very glad that maybe the game's just over. Maybe they're not even bothered that they've lost. They're just like, you know what, guys, we've freaking played so many rounds today. We deserved a win, but we didn't get it. Congratulations to both teams, can I say, on an absolutely incredible performance. Really, really bringing it down to the wire.
Yeah, I mean, you got to respect Dopey. I mean, they had a really tough quarterfinal against Malta, and I think a lot of people, including myself, to be fair, kind of almost counted them out. The other teams were looking super dominant. FT winning 2-0, and that first map obviously was super close against Mistruka, but they won 2-0 in the end, and that second map for them dominant. I had FT down to win this, and I've been proven wrong. And FT played well, but Dopey played even better. And Raiden, I mean, he looked back to his best at times there, back to his old dominant self. He was absolutely unstoppable. When they gave him room, there was always kills coming in. There was always headshots coming in, and you just can't allow a ranger of that quality space. And I wonder, not playing that extra archer, that gave him space.
Yeah, a lot of we might see some reviews coming out. Maybe, don't know if any players will have the energy left to maybe reanalyze this insane day of warband gaming. But yeah, some intricate little details that might have changed the outcome of the match. But a huge congratulations to both teams for putting on a stellar performance and getting this far as well. Some tough competition coming through there. But ultimately, Dopey showing their mettle, and Dopey himself, after the team name, just putting on an absolutely incredible performance in the final match. Deacon, obviously, I do want to wrap this up because I know that you've I know you've watched and streamed a lot of games, a lot of rounds. Do you have any final thoughts on the tournament as a whole?
I just love Warband. It's so good. What a game. What an immense final. Great. Like, say what you want. Doesn't really matter about what you think about the tournament. It was an amazing final. Like, what a sick match. Quality teams, quality match. Brilliant stuff. Great stream. Love it.
I think those words are perfect. I'm not going to add anything. Do you have any final shout outs before we close this stream?
Just shout out to the people who run the tournament. Shout out to you guys for allowing me to join you. I kind of asked pretty late. Yeah, just shout out to the whole community because everyone's saying the community's dying all the time, but we're still here. We're still kicking the ball along the road, aren't we?
Absolutely. I couldn't have put it better myself. Yeah. Again, thanks to you, Deacon, for actually joining us, mate. Really great to have you and catch up with you, mate. It was awesome to stream this insane final with you, and like you say, people chatting about community down all the time, but we're here. We made it. Had a lot of viewers. People really enjoyed it. I just want to thank also the other streamers as well. I know that there was a bit of hot debate about who got to stream the final match, but ultimately it's thanks to everyone. It's a collective effort. To Fietta, Carver Box, you, Deacon, Shingen as well. You guys for streaming the semi-finals as long as it was. Thanks to Aharo as well for hosting the tournament. He did a great job, and Tell Worlds for sponsoring them and giving the prizes out. And also thanks to Deafening as well, who you guys don't hear his voice, but he does all that work behind the scenes. And as I have made several mistakes, we all make mistakes, so please don't hurt him too much for that, because I would have no clue what to do if I was hosting this stream. So a big thanks to him. Yeah, thanks to Calamity as well for keeping Bladecast such a high level streamer and organisation, bringing so many blokes and girls together to put this on. So yeah, thanks ultimately as well to you guys, to the viewers for streaming and coming in to watch. I know you guys enjoy it. There's a lot of comments all the time, which is great. We want to hear feedback. But yeah, thank you for tuning in, guys, and have a good weekend.